Hola, this is Spanish Mamma Mia with one of my Spanish recipes for the channel. Back again, if you want to know the ingredients of the recipe, it's going to be in the description below. And today we're doing pollo a la Chilindron, or Chilindron, that in English means stewed chicken with tomato and peppers. And this recipe is from the region of Aragon and also Rioja. It's a very famous recipe all over Spain. But again, this is my take, how I was learned as a kid to do this recipe. I know everybody is very purist and they have their own recipes from my moms and grandma, so I don't want them to be upset because I'm skipping one of the ingredients, but it's very easy to do. It really serves a family of 6 or 7 people. And the main ingredient here, and I'm going to talk about the ingredients, is going to be chicken. And it's going to be chicken, and usually what you do is 8 parts of chicken. This recipe started with being a whole chicken cut in 8 pieces, and that would be used. But I don't like to use the breast because it's a little bit dry. I like to do the thighs or the legs. But back again, this is like around 2.5 pounds. That would be a little bit over a kilo. Also, you would have here the red, green, and bell peppers. Usually what I do is 1 red bell pepper, 1 orange, 1 yellow, and 1 green. And I cut it what it means Julianne. That's the cut that you do with the peppers. Here is 1 big white onion. And also you're gonna cut it Julianne style because you want it to be not a thick slices. The onion is very thin, so we'll do better. Here I have 5 garlic cloves, and also you do it in Julianne style, or in Spanish we're saying en láminas. To include the recipe, I have olive oil, and they're not paying me for this recipe, but I'm in love with this one that is from the Andalusian region. And then you have salt and pepper to taste, bay leaves, that is around 2 or 3 of them, pimenton, that is smoked paprika, or we call it pimenton ahumado, and it's 1 soup spoon of that. And then 1 can of crushed tomato. Back again, if you want to be purist, you can do 3 tomatoes, put it in a blender, and you do your crushed tomato, but because of time, I'm doing the can. We have 1 cup of chicken stock, and back again, if you want to do it, that's fine with me, but if not, you can buy low in sodium. And then 1 glass of Spanish wine. I would prefer that you guys use something like either Verdejo or Albariño, but if you don't have it and you're in the US, you can use Chardonnay, but it has to be dry. And then of course, we're gonna use here ham, and this is pata negra because in this one I'm a little bit purist, and I like to use this coming from Spain. And this is what we call it, the real jamon de bellota 5J. And this is around maybe like 1/3 of a kilo of bellota. How, like I always do in my recipe, I like to pair it at the end when it's cooked with a decent bottle of wine. And this is from the Galician region that is called, it's an Albariño, and it's called Paso Díaz Bruxa. It's one of my favorites. Like I said, in every recipe I always include 1 wine that you can pair with. And that would be all, and we're gonna start with the recipe. One of the things that we want to do here, I already have, you see the 8 pieces of, I'm using legs here of chicken, but you can do a whole chicken and cut it in 8 parts, like I said in the beginning, or you can do a combination of legs and thighs. Chicken breast, you really don't want to use it here because, like I was saying before, it gets dry. I like the bone included in this recipe because the bone, the skin is going to give the taste to the chicken. One thing that you want to do with is salt and pepper to the taste. Before nothing, if you see I have a paper towel here because I wash my hands and I dry it. You want to have Clean hands before you manage the chicken and after managing the chickens. So we do salt and pepper. I use salt first and then pepper. And later on, if you need to put more, you're gonna be able to taste it and see if when you're doing, putting the tomato sauce and everything else and the chicken stock, you're gonna know if it needs more, and now it has it. And now we're going to look at the pan what we need to do next. First thing we have to do is really brown, and in Spanish means marcar the chicken. And you need a pan, and I will tell you most probably a pan this size that is 14 inches, 16 inches, depending on how much you have a chicken. And you want to put olive oil in the bottom. And like I said, I'm using this one. Be sure that is olive oil and it's extra virgin. And you can use anything. This one is the one that I like. They are not sponsoring this video. Of the olive oil, I wanted most probably like 2 ounces, I would say, of olive oil. Be sure that is in the bottom of the pan and cover it. Usually, since olive oil is a liquid, it's going to look like it does a lot, but we are talking about only 2 ounces. And you want to put it in very high, not extra high, but I would say medium high. And do not put the chicken that we already had it with the salt and pepper in until the olive oil is hot. How do you know it's hot? Like I said, this is me a way of knowing. I put my hand at this level if I can feel the hot is hot. Otherwise, if you want to see a little bit of bubbles happening in the olive oil, but you don't want it burned. Now we see that the olive oil, if you see, is getting with the little bubbles that normally is. So this is the time to put your chicken. And back again, I wash my hands before I touch the chicken. I'm so, maybe by being a physician, I'm so paranoid of cross-contamination, especially chicken possibility of causing salmonella. And I'm starting to drop my chicken there. And be sure that all of them, hear the sound? You're not gonna cook the chicken. You only, what we say in Spanish, marcar. That means you're gonna brown it. Don't overcrowd the olive oil because otherwise it's gonna drop the temperature. But in this pan, you have enough place to put it. And let it there to get brown. That will do like around 5 to 7 minutes. Be sure that it's all sides brown. In the meanwhile, this dish that I have the chicken, I cannot put the chicken that's already brown there because of course the contamination. I'm gonna clean it very thorough with water and soap before I put the chicken that I will take out of here. My hands too, I'm gonna clean it. While you're hearing that beautiful sound of the chicken getting brown, I'm gonna open the bag of the Jamon de bellota that is from Spain. But if you cannot get that here in US, I would tell you try to. There's some stores that will have it, even one online. But if you can, another option is substituted with prosciutto. That is cured ham from Italy. I would not try not to use bacon. If not, if you want to do bacon, that's fine. But then bacon, you have to fry it a little bit to be sure that you take that fat. If you see this is directly, I can eat it out of here. That's nothing better. I'm sorry, but I'm biased with this. And in terms of the taste and everything else. But if you cannot, I would tell you then definitely do whatever it can be close to this, like a prosciutto. And what I do is I roll it and then I cut it in little pieces to use it later in the pollo Chilindron. You see it, I'm cutting it. Be sure that you don't cut yourself. And I will cut it again because I want tiny little pieces of this ham. You don't have to use the whole container. Depends how much you want the taste of the ham in your Chilindron. And most probably I'm gonna put this, and I'm gonna eat this rest later on with some of the wine. But I have it already here, and then I'm gonna put it in a container, and it will be separated to use it later on in the recipe. And now we're gonna check how the chicken is doing. And now that I see that my chicken is brown, remember you want to brown it on a Spanish called marcar. You don't want to cook it because it's gonna be cooked in the stew. And in the bowl that I already cleaned, be sure that it is clean. You are going to put the brown chicken. Don't worry, there's a little bit of olive oil, and you put it here. You're gonna use it later. And this olive oil that you have here, with the flavor of the chicken and with the salt and pepper, that's when I'm going to drop my onions and my peppers. I'm gonna drop a little bit to medium because I want to saute the onions and peppers, and that salt and crushed pepper that I put with a little bit of the chicken, but I don't want it to burn. So the first thing I'm going to do is the garlic. I'm going to put my garlic that is already and the garlic, be sure that when you put it in something that is hot like this, you move it because you don't want it to get burned. That's what I'm doing right now. And at the same time, I'm dropping the onions that were Julianne cut. Doing the same thing, mixing with that garlic, that aromatic olive oil. And the next step is to put the peppers. Loosened. I'm going to drop the peppers that I cut Julianne style, and I'm going to move it in that mix of onion and garlic. And leave it like around 3 to 5 minutes so they get a little bit soft, and they're starting to grab a little bit of that olive oil and the salt and pepper and also the garlic. Now that you see that your combination of the red peppers, green peppers, yellow peppers, orange peppers, onions, garlic, starting to make like a good, like I said, family, because they're all getting along and they have that beautiful color and they're starting to look tender, it's my time to put the glass of wine. Like I said, I want to like really try to make it as close as the recipe of my grandma. So I use Spanish white wine. But if you don't have a Spanish white wine and you want to do a dry wine, a type of Chardonnay or Pinot Grigio, depends on what you want to do, is okay. I like the taste of Spanish wine, so that's what I use. And then you're gonna wait until that starts to boil, because we want the taste of the wine, we don't want the alcohol. How are you gonna know when it's that happen? Right now I can smell alcohol. When that alcohol smell is gone, I know that this is the time that I should go to the next step. 5 minutes have passed, and I know that what I have is the wine, but the alcohol is gone, because it has that delicious smell, but it doesn't smell like alcohol. So this is the time to put your next step. Remember when we talk about that soup spoon, that's what we call it, of smoked paprika or pimentón ahumado, and I'm gonna sprinkle, because this is, besides giving the color So Pollo Chilindron is gonna give that amazing taste of pimenton and paprika. And be sure that as soon as you put it, you mix it. And if you see it's starting to get that beautiful orange, kind of reddish color, and you can smell that good smell of the pimenton ahumado, the smoked paprika. And this is my time to put my 3 bay leaves. And I will let a couple of minutes before I will put the chicken stock and the tomato. A couple of minutes have passed and you see that beautiful color that this Chilindron is getting with all the veggies, and then on top of that the smoked paprika. And this is time to integrate the tomato. Like again, if you want to do your own crushed tomato, you can do it. In this case, I'm getting from the can, and I'm getting approximately 12 ounces. That would be like a half of this can. And now you have what is called the Chilindron. The Chilindron is the combination of the tomato with the crushed tomato with the onions and peppers and garlic. And now let's give it around 3 to 5 minutes to reduce a little bit of that. So not too dry, please. We don't want Chilindron to be dry, but we want to integrate this. And I will leave it in medium to let this integrate. 5 minutes have passed and you see that the tomato have integrated, the crushed tomato with everything else, and it's getting really a nice color. This is your time to take a spoon and try it before you put the chicken stock and see if it needs salt or pepper or something. Perfect. I will not put anything, only the chicken stock. And like I said, it's low in sodium. I don't want, some people like it, but I like it. The more organic will be, that would be low in sodium, and it will be fresh that you do it at home. That would be perfect. And now I'm gonna put my cup of the chicken stock. Move it again and give it another 5 minutes. That will integrate before we put the chicken in this amazing bath of veggies, tomato, and excellent flavor. See that this is a medium high, or the flavors are together. It's your time to put your chicken. Don't drop it. Put it lightly. I don't believe in splashes in the kitchen, so I know some people in a rush like to drop it, but I put them like they're gonna swim in that amazing flavors. And now is the time to put the last ingredient, but not the least. That excellent jamon de bellota that I cut in little pieces. This is the time to drop it in my Pollo Chilindron. This jamon de bellota is gonna give what in English is called amazing, but in Spanish is flipante. That it means this taste that you will not have in anything else. That's why I thought if you can find the jamon and bellota, that would be great. If not, try to get something that would be similar to it. So I'm gonna put it around the chicken like you see. So I will have that flavor all over. And don't worry, if a little piece fall out of it before I put it, I will take care of it, because I love this jamon de bellota ham. And this is the time to drop it to medium, because I want to reduce it and the chicken to cook. To cover up, because definitely you want it to cover. And let it cook it for 30 minutes to 45. You're gonna know when the chicken is tender. That depends on what type of chicken you use. You know, chicken breast cook faster than chicken thighs, so or if you have it without the bone, it's going to be faster than you have it with the bone. But right now we have the legs of chicken. It's going to be between that 30 to 40 minutes. That chicken is cooking. I'm going to have a nice glass, and this is not for cooking, this is for drinking. That albarino de espacio de bruxas. The means, bruxas means witches in Galician, and it's a 220 Rias Baixas. That's a great company that make excellent albarino. And back again, they're not sponsoring this, but I will have my glass and salud. So here we are, guys. This is the Pollo Chilindron, that is chicken stew with peppers and tomato sauce already done, and I'm serving it with some white rice, and you guys can serve it with mashed potato if you want it, with a glass of the albarino, back again, that will go well with this. And then I will tell you guys salud. My husband to do a close-up of this so you look how nice it looks. And back again, subscribe to my channel, and I will put the ingredients in the recipe. Salud.